Welcome to Uncaged, a show that celebrates thought leadership from today's top business leaders. The program provides a voice to amazing executives from around the globe who are shaping the world of business today and mapping the path to the commerce of tomorrow. Today, we're speaking with Monty Hudson. Hey, Monty, how are you?
Fantastic, Matt. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's great to see you, Monty. And Monty's working on a very, very cool thing that touches upon the world that I spent the bulk of my career working in, which is digital advertising, but doing it in a better way for all of us. He is the founder and CEO of Ads for the Planet. And Ads for the Planet provides tools to activate a brand's purpose within digital advertising and social media, to collaborate with consumers, to do good in real time, to achieve greater ROI from marketing campaigns, and to measure, quantify, and report the results. We're going to talk a little bit more about Ads for the Planet and what that solution is delivering. But before we get there, Monty, tell us a little bit about yourself and your career.
Sure, Matt. Happy to do that. I've been a lover of the great outdoors my entire life and working in ad tech for almost 20 years now. Before that, I was in the music industry. And professionally, I've been instrumental in bringing numerous culture-shifting innovations to market, including the first digital distribution of music, the first podcast, and back in our early advertising days, the introduction of personalized advertising and content that really we all use today.
That's amazing. So tell me, with all that background, you have seen and done it all in the digital world. But clearly this year, in early 2022, you had an idea and you've been developing it. Tell us more of what's happening with Ads for the Planet and where the idea came from.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for that question. Personally, nature's always been my salvation and my happy place. And I have a teenage daughter, and throughout her life, we've always spent a lot of time outdoors. And as the years tick by and the climate crisis gets worse, the question that kept bouncing around in my head is really the question from which Ads for the Planet was born. And that's, how can we together harness the power of advertising to improve ROI for consumers, for brands, and also for the planet. So we decided to, brainstorm about that and put together some solutions that hopefully will help do just that.
Yeah, that sounds great. Tell me a little bit about those solutions. How does it work?
Yeah, sure. Well, the basic idea is driven by existing consumer research that we see out there today. And that is that consumers overwhelmingly, and really across all ages, incomes throughout the globe, prioritize values alignment when they're making purchase decisions and patronizing brands. And a lot of brands out there, more and more companies are doing really good work in sustainability. About 85-90% of the Fortune 1000 has now made commitments to science-based targets around net zero. And they're doing good work on the supply side, primarily. More sustainable sourcing, efficiencies in their supply chains, their greening facilities with renewable energy, that type of thing. And mostly they're doing that not strictly out of altruism, but because it's good business, right? There's ROI there. And what companies are seeing is, or what they're feeling really, is pressure from market forces, right? And I see three main market forces. One is regulatory pressure.
Right.
Two is pressure from the financial and investment community. And three is consumer pressure that we just talked about. And so many of these companies, like I said, the work they're doing is primarily on the supply side. But what they're not doing is fully leveraging the significant investments they're making on the supply side to amplify that and fuel growth on the demand side, right?
Hmm.
So I think it's time and that, or there's a need, I should say, for companies to have mechanisms that they can, integrate purpose into their digital advertising, right? So we're providing tools to do that. We've created ad formats that can be utilized programmatically or in social media that create collaboration in real time. We've got a financial model that drives better ROI for ad campaigns and allocates a portion of spend by creating efficiencies within the ad buying process as well. Allocates a portion of spend to environmental causes that align with a brand's sustainability mission. And then a part of that also is helping brands understand what their customers care about, right? Well, both their customers and their potential customers. So we're providing consumer intelligence to help brands better understand what's most important, to their target audience.
That's great. So really kind of those three buckets. So there's ad units that essentially allow brands to get involved in this space. With media buys, there is kind of like a giving component that will allow organizations to get involved in some of the sustainable areas that they want to be most associated with. What's the third one again?
Yeah, and then the third thing is reporting. So
the data.
Yeah, right. So data is everything. And we improve upon things that we measure. And so typically, we report on all the standard advertising KPIs that you see out there today, right? Ad engagement lift, brand affinity, ad recall, completed videos, all that standard stuff. But we have an ESG component as well. So what happens is that when consumers engage with our ads, they're activating a donation to a charity or cause that the brand nominates. And when that happens, we congratulate the consumer on the good they've done, and we reward them with an impact badge. So think of it as kind of like loyalty points for doing good. And when we do that, we also give that consumer the opportunity to share the good that they've done with other like consumers. And so what we can do is we can track all the good that the brand is doing, the money that is being invested in the planet and allocated to causes, the number of people that they've touched, if those people have shared anything, if they've decided to match a donation on their own, or if they've chosen to get involved locally, which are all kind of components that we help provide the consumer to make it easier for them to do. So all of those types of things we roll up and we can track and we report on to brands so they can quantify the good that they're doing for their ESG and impact reporting.
That's great. You highlighted up front, you've had a lifelong love with the outdoors. And certainly, I know that you've been chief sustainability officer in the past. So you have a lot of knowledge on how this space has evolved. I'm getting the sense from you that you feel like we're headed in the right direction, or there's some promise or opportunity right now. Are you giving me some positive news here, Monty, for the future of our planet? Are we finally getting our act together?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I do think one of the biggest challenges we have today, certainly in developed societies and certainly in America, is a lack of urgency. And one of the things that I'm encouraged by is really that, we move based upon incentives because we're a capitalist society, we're a free market. And we're seeing those incentives shifting towards understanding that, hey, this has impact towards us. And yeah, I think that's very encouraging. What I think is encouraging is the fact that consumers are leading the way on this. It's not just millennials anymore. As a matter of fact, the fastest growing age group of people that prioritize sustainability when they're making purchase decisions is the oldest age group. Now they're still they're still the smallest age group, but they're the fastest growing. So we really are seeing that happen. I think that's incredibly encouraging. We also see that consumers actually expect companies to take a stand on issues like this. And they reward companies that take a stand on issues like this. And all consumers are voting every day. They're voting with their wallet. So that is extremely encouraging.
Do you think that the pandemic that we've been going through almost operates as a bit of a, I mean, I think it seems like it almost was a time for us to reflect a little bit, but perhaps as a way to accelerate some of these ideas to really bring together sustainable growth with kind of our day-to-day business practices?
Undoubtedly, undoubtedly. The last couple of years of COVID-induced reflection, it's well documented that many people have really changed what's important to them. Many people have reprioritized their lives.
Right.
And, you know, again, going back to being encouraged by consumers, consumers want to do better. They're looking for guidance on how to do that. And they like to do good in micro moments. So I think there's a real opportunity for particularly consumer-facing companies to benefit by engaging with consumers on issues that they care about. And that creates the ability to foster a relationship that transcends a single transaction. And that type of interplay within our market is getting many, many companies to rethink how they do business, because it's their customers and their employees that want change. And you know, the hiring marketplace is competitive now as well. So yeah, I mean, it's individuals that
yes, all the major stakeholders are in on this one and making sure that it happens. So Monty, I mean, look, you know, you started this business at the beginning of 2022. So this is the big first year for Ads for the Planet. Tell us a little bit about what this year looks like for the company and what your hopes are.
Yeah, well, you know, we're trying to change the way people think about things. And I will say that historically has not always been the fastest or easiest thing to do, right? But I've had success with it in the past, and there's tremendous joy when, you know, the wheels of change start happening. And so this year, what's super exciting already is really collaborating with other like-minded leaders and, you know, discovering a growing tribe of, you know, companies and individuals, organizations that are creating change. So there's been a lot of enthusiasm. There's tremendous momentum. We're moving extremely quickly. We're engaged in a number of conversations with some well-known consumer-facing brands that are really leaning into this. So we hope to have and expect to have more to share in the very near future.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's very, very exciting. Monty, it's been amazing to talk to you. We've been speaking with Monty Hudson. He's the CEO of Ads for the Planet. Ads for the Planet is an organization that focuses on creating better ads and better advertising for a better planet. They have tools to activate a brand's purpose within digital advertising and social media, to collaborate more effectively with consumers, to do good in real time, and to achieve greater ROI from marketing campaigns, and to measure, quantify, and report the results. And we've been talking to Monty today about really kind of I think what you just said, it's almost like a reset, everyone kind of reshaping and shifting the direction of their lives to hopefully build a better planet. And Monty's launched this new company building on some of the knowledge that we have in his work in the sustainability space to really bring that kind of thinking to the advertising space, to the demand space. And so, Monty, thank you so much for sharing with us what you're working on at Ads for the Planet. If someone wanted to learn more about what you're working on, where should they get in touch with you?
Well, you can check out our website, adsfortheplanet.com. There's a contact form there, or people are certainly available people are certainly welcome to reach out to me via LinkedIn or shoot me an email as well.
Excellent. Well, there you have it. Thank you so much for being on Uncaged Day, and we look forward to having you back. Talk to you soon, buddy.
Thanks a lot, Dan. Thanks
Cheers.
for having me.